What's up everybody, welcome to what will be a very important video. This one's going to go over the spring into summer roadmap. A lot of you have been calling for a roadmap and Kabam have delivered. We're going to be breaking this down. This is like a full deep dive. I will also be doing a spring/summer roadmap in 5 minutes or less type video scenario. So look out for that, which will probably drop about 15 minutes after this one. So let's do a deep dive. Let's begin with Book 2 Act 1. A lot of you know this month, May 19th, we'll see the release of Chapter 2 of Book 2 Act 1. This will be the point of hopefully more kind of like excitement, especially as we go into Chapter 3, which looks like it drops in October. But this time we'll go to Gwenpool, or this kind of like Gwenperion, as being the main kind of like protagonist or kind of story structure or corruption in around what goes with Carina. And we've got those Carina challenges coming as well. It's certainly nice to kind of feel that we're on more of a quicker process, and this is kind of released, what, one every 3 to 4 months of a chapter, which is quite convenient and consistent. So it's good, but it doesn't satisfy a lot of those endgame kind of like very skilled players that want a challenge. But Kabam are definitely going to get that sorted, especially because they do make a joke about the fact, hey, you didn't get Summer of Pain, did you? But that's going to be addressed in this roadmap. Next thing is back issues and variants. So a lot of you like variants. I really like variants because they're come to a point in my roster's development that doing them is a little bit more straightforward. That takes time to do. If you have Jess come in a year and you're at a certain point of, say, Cavalier, doing them may have like certain challenge points and maybe you need 4 stars, but still fundamentally it is a fun piece of content that is rewarding for especially like mid-tier to kind of like pushing to very early endgame, like your early Cavaliers. So it's that stuff there. Even for me being Thronebreaker, grabbing 25% of a tier 5 class catalyst with not so an extensive level of grind is actually pretty cool. But that's me on time rather than on challenge aspect. However though, when it comes to like what Kabam have got planned, Dedapalooza is coming in. It's kind of weird though because that's back in 2016, and the scheme of things would have been like, okay, shouldn't this be the Groot and Rocket's kind of like holiday thing, holiday extravaganza? But it's not. They're going with Dedapalooza, which I get to a degree, but it's fun to have these things in, and especially if they're looking to like catch up on this content, it's cool to think, okay, we're doing a bit of content that's back what 5 years ago, so. That's cool. So yeah, that's good that Kabam is still committing to do those things. I don't know if it's going to be 2 a year, 3 a year, but at least if we get 3 a year, that's kind of like, that could be quite good. The next thing is Carina's Challenge. Right, Carina's Challenge is going to be something that does kind of pit you against certain things, which is going to be great. But as well, new catalysts are going to be part of the rewards. Take on Carina's challenges through a series of permanent solo objectives from epic rewards, including brand new catalysts, plus the most dedicated will be a unique profile picture on offer for those that can take on the challenge in 30 days. Okay, that's cool. I really hope that these aren't completely challenging, that if I feel like it's stressful, then it's like, well, I'm not really going to enjoy that. But if that's the case, like, I don't know, I take a week, I kind of look at it. It's in the case of like, if I've got to be on the constant intercept, I've got to play better, fight better, then okay, that's going to be it. Those that have stared down Abyss and chuckled with the Doctor Doom Carina Challenges Chapter 1 will take Thronebreaker players through some classic fights across the contest. Because this is very much Chapter 1, it basically says that, look, you're more than likely going to repeat some of the content you've done. Whether or not this is going to be Massacre-based fights of Labyrinth of Legends, Abyss-based fights, whatever it's going to be, it could be that is the formulation of that challenge. But still, that is going to be it's going to be interesting to see when it drops later on, and whether or not I kind of feel like I can do it day 1 or within the first 30 days, or whether or not I'm just like, do you know what, I've got other things to do at the moment. I'll come back to it maybe a little bit later on, but we'll see. So in June, there looks like there's going to be some very kind of like top-end challenge, especially for, as the Kabam player, got a bunch of 6-star rank 3s going untested. Need to feel a rush of Abyss or Labyrinth. Not really, not anytime soon, but you know, it's got to be done. The time has come for a fresh challenge. Grandmaster Gauntlets is a brand new single quest filled with brawls to test only the greatest of summoners. 20 challenging fights await Thronebreaker summoners and their greatest champions, with nameless Thanos, oh god, guarding the final step to to well-earned wares, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, if people are into that, they're into that. It definitely presents a challenge for some summoners. Is this going to be something of a permanent piece of content? I don't think it will be. I think this will just be like something that's there, especially because the Summer of Pain is meant to be like difficult stuff, but as well, it's kind of like, yeah. If that's permanent content, that's cool. I mean, if it's going to be a difference to doing like Abyss or Labyrinth, but is in the same context, then yeah, okay. If it's going to absolutely frustrate me, then I don't know. Marvel Future Revolution's out about this time, and I you know, if I'm stressed, then maybe I'll play something else. But I'll give it a go. You know, I think that's the thing. Summer of Pain. So that's the thing. There's a lot more kind of end game based player stuff on offer, which is great. So that's at least kind of getting a lot of end game players kind of interested in that. But also I need to stimulate the kind of like mid and kind of lower players as well, which are going to be doing in some of the stuff. So Summer of Pain. Summer of Pain is upon us. Keep waiting, but yeah, every week, running from June through the end of August, we'll release a new single standalone fight. These devilish fights will be tough in their own right, but accompanying them will be collections of brutal solo objectives that will test your roster skill, patience, and structural integrity of your mobile. Yeah, and again, as I said, that's going to be the time when Marvel Future Revolution's released. So like, if there's so much stress, I might play something else. But yeah, maybe come back to see what it is and how cool it is and how much stress it does give oneself. But you know, looking forward to it. Should be good. Kabam are also looking to sort out those that are new to the game with the prologue initiative, if I can say it in a more posher way. But yeah, it's like, it's good because it does go back to have a look at those old fights. It does mean that I've got to look at my low energy target spreadsheet and adjust if Kabam are doing that, which is planned for later this year. So we still got time if you're doing an objectives-based grind, which if you've seen today's video where I did like objectives grind guide, essentially, we kind of looked at alternatives that weren't Road to Labyrinth, which are equally effective, if not more efficient, on targeting classes. So I'm going to have to look back at that, but apart from that, it's good to have this kind of reset here on the prologue initiative, so that's great. From an Alliance War standpoint, what are they doing? Well, I don't do Alliance War seasons, and I don't do Alliance War now. But what are they changing with it? Well, the loyalty store Alliance War boosts can now be purchased weekly with a purchase limit of X amount, so it's good. Undo button enabled on all war maps, good. Energy cap increased to 6 to refresh and decrease to 45 minutes timer, good. Adjusting top Alliance Wars tiers, we will be moving tier 3 to challenger difficulty, as well as rebalancing the number of alliances in the top 3 tiers. That may be good, and yeah, rewards still need to be looked at, time investment needs to be looked at, and other stuff as well. Going further on this, that we understand there's a number of factors affecting how players feel about Alliance Wars, and they differ from tier to tier and alliance to alliance. We want to address those factors, and to that we need to move faster. That's why we've reshaped the way in which our teams approach Alliance Wars and Quest, accept more impactful changes more often. To start, we'll be looking at tier 1 wars. We've heard from many summoners the issues we face, and yeah, okay, there's a lot of stress with it, yeah. Just like our players, we are satisfied with the state of Alliance. We are not satisfied with the state. Good. Especially in higher tiers, we want to make Alliance Wars less stressful. Again, good. Officers' workload, yeah. Okay, that's key things there, key elements. And Kabam said beyond this year, we're continuing to explore the next big thing for Alliance Wars. We know how important it is to get it right for you. Yeah, I mean, Alliance Wars for me hasn't been fun in... It just kind of like, it's just the same thing. It's like, how do you polish a turd? And I just feel like it is polished turd content, but that's the thing. There's a lot more to that. The kind of, as Kabam even said, they even admit to the fact that it's officer workload, it's the stress of it, it's sometimes preparation of nodes, champions, and boring repetition as well with it. Some people enjoy it. Look, hey, if you enjoy it, and that's great. But it's just like, I find it incredibly boring, and that is why I've kind of stepped away from doing it. Okay, touching on the solo competitive elements to this. This very much looks like the Summoner Showdown, which again, Kabam say here about draft battles will feature picks and bans alongside strategic buff choices and skill-based scoring. So it kind of like, I think this is the PvP side of things that we could look towards in the future. Pick and ban champions of your opponent to face off against. Layer on clever buff combinations to outfox your challenger. Use the depth of your roster to mix up the meta to create a new winning combination. Put your skill to the test and battle against opponent's defender. Rise the ranks for completely unique rewards to the contest. So yeah, how they end up putting that in, whether or not that sounds like a regular tournament, regular thing, like a new mode of like incursion, so to speak. If you want an idea, then you can see like right here, this is kind of an example of this, where this comes from the Summoner Showdown, so the champions being banned, or kind of the way it's picked, the champion of choice, the node that's on there, like flow. So it's just that's how it kind of like it worked. It was fun, but it may be not my thing. I'm sure that it'll be other players' thing, and like who this kind of targets, I'm sure that players are going to enjoy this. So that is indeed great news to see that they're going to be adding in more of a kind of a solo competitive node for this. And well, Evolution has started with Map 8 coming, a fresh adventure coming to Alliance Quest. Those at the bleeding edge of the fight, Map 8 will come to the contest to provide a way to play AQ that takes inspiration from all the lessons of the past to create something enjoyable, different and challenging. So that's good. There is evolution that is coming, but as well there's officer tools, which a lot of players do need, especially because like it's stressful for Alliance officers to kind of get stuff set up for people, and as well kind of like balance where people are at and what they're doing. Set up and plan an entire cycle of Alliance Quest in one go. Auto start selected maps of all 3 battle groups. Select modifiers and see all the possible rewards from one easy interface. Massive time savings for simpler planning for Alliance Quest. Excellent. Okay, you know, that will help players out. I cannot wait for that. Not personally because I'm an officer, but for people that I've been my officers in the past would have loved something like this. So I'm glad that this is the case. Okay, let's talk about the arena side of things. Arena is good improvements, yes. 6-star champions can be got from the arena. There's a 6-star arena. That is fantastic. Also, the extent of what you can get now from 5-star featured is a lot more. First 100 positions will pay out a 6-star, and then 101 position to 500th gives a 5-star hero. Excellent. And yeah, that's good. That's great. But at the same time, there are a few questions. The unit grind is going to be applicable to players to how much they can pick up. Kabam give reassurances that you can get from 535 to 540 units across 3 arenas instead of 5. So essentially Kabam are telling you you've got a less of a grind to get as much as you normally did from the milestones. If that's the case, then that's great. But there are a few reservations I might have on this particular subject, especially if like you're limited with the amount of battle chips you can get. If there's less arenas, then there's less battle chips on offer, which means that there's less amount of crystals you can pick up. So what a Kabam are going to do about that one is a very good question, and we need more info. May 13th is when that's going to drop, but they did say somewhere here that they're going to be giving a lot of details. So there are a lot of details, but for the post I only include the top points, which is good, but I need that full info, especially because the impact is going to be, do you have to grind more in the arenas to get like further milestones to get more battle chips? Like, instead of it being a case of like, in order to get over the 5 arenas, like a hell of a lot of battle chips, which, you know, a lot of players do grab, especially when they're going for intensive grinds to pop those crystals to get those units, will you have to reassess the way you're doing it, especially if you're getting less? And will you have to grind out more milestones to, let's say, past 12, where normally, say, an arena has 10 milestones? Those are key things that need to be answered. It seems good, but I've got a little bit of reservations without the full extent of responses to various things. Either way, somewhat positive for those that grind out arena. More info needs to be grabbed. Now let's talk about Alliance Raids. Alliance Raids is something that I would want to see. I just think it's like, it's nice and it's fresh. The biggest problem with a lot of the Alliance-based content is it's not fresh. It's just like, it's the same that it's been for a long time. So having something that's fresh and exciting makes me interested with kind of having more Alliance-based participation. Yeah, and that's good, but at the same time, it's something new with the game. So the Judges of Progress, universe of colossal threats, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. So no development Alliance Raids will form a jewel in the crown of MCOC Endgame experience, providing summoners with threats beyond any scope you have yet to imagine. Which I think is nice. It's just like maybe you as an Alliance go in to like raid a particular boss, the same way I thought that bases were going to be something similar in the past, but bases, to be honest, just ended up turning up like into Alliance Wars or AQ, so it just seemed 0 points. It'd be nice to have something different for alliances to do, and I kind of feel like, okay, what we're doing today, we're doing a raid. Okay, cool, let's all get in and do that raid, and maybe you're fighting at the same time, maybe you're fighting in a different way, maybe it's kind of like one person it's just like, it's just fight to fight to fight to fight and done, rather than something that's just incredibly kind of mind-numbingly boring. So yeah, good about that, glad about it. And now we're going to be talking about Masteries 2.0. So next year, I know that maybe some people disappointed in that, but look, we've got endgame content and stuff to kind of like facilitate us. We're going to deliver brand new mastery systems to the contest, yada yada. New masteries, the old masteries will list being overhauled to reduce the amount of useless masteries to be replaced and added with a brand new gameplay mechanic, tools, and toys to play with in the contest. Excellent. I'm looking forward to that. Loadouts, yes. Switching masteries is such a pain, we know, and that's good because I can't be bothered to change mine. Although I do need to change mine soon. I honestly can't be bothered at the moment. They're working fine. They need to do what they need to do, and generally experiment with masteries, which is excellent, because then like you'll need it a lot more for a lot of the content, switching them between like, I don't know, an alliance raid build versus a standard grind build, and then maybe like if there's more than that, then that'd be great. If you have like 3 to 4 setups, at least you go like, this is an incursions build, this is a questing build, this is this build, and you're able to switch between it quite easily. More flexibility. Our goal with new system is to make the mastery flexible. Okay, good. Loadouts and new masteries. You have more room to experiment. We have originally intended. Excellent. And 2022. But that's the thing. That's fine. That's done. What else have Kabam got to offer? Relics. So I don't really know what the relic is. I remember relics in Age of Empires. So it's like, is this like Age of? Is this game turning into Age of Empires all of a sudden? I need the relic. Give me a monk to go get a relic. Power of the Greater Divider. Power is what we seek in the Contest of Champions in 2021. Aim to grow that power. Relics are coming. Relics are all new cores of power that provide individual champions with the ability to apply custom buffs to their kits. I know, I'm not kidding you. They're going all out here with stuff. Individual relics act as vessels for collection of new buffs with a host of unique abilities tied to each other. For the first time, you'll be able to apply collectible mastery-like buffs to individual champions. This, to me, seems like it's what is it like? It's like the time that Kabam, it's either Kabam in Canada or Kabam when like they were bought by the Chinese version and they did the gearing system in Marvel Contest of Champions. Not to say that it's exactly that, but it definitely feels like it's similar to it. So if anybody remembers that, 4 years ago there was this here. So the top left, that's from the Chinese version of Marvel Contest of Champions and showcases this kind of like this gear creation. Not to say that this is going to be like this. It seems like, and I don't know, this is the thing that always gives me a little bit of worry here. The means of collecting it, will it then give more of a, if you have the best relics, will this indeed kind of like set the game in a different motion? It's a legitimate concern I have, and look, I want to give Kabam faith in this, that they can actually do this and facilitate it without being so ridiculous. It's just going to be a case going like, where do Kabam go with this? Are they being very careful with it? Because it's talking about customization and as well, like, yeah, it just gets me a little bit worried. I don't know. Put in the comment section, how do you feel about relics? Do you think this is going to be a case that it, like, if you don't have the best relics, it's going to be a problem? God, yeah, God. In any case, let's read on. So summoners will initially find relics in the new solo competitive mode before being slowly rolled out as rewards across other modes in the game. I kind of find this a bit weird. Oh look, if people are the best of the best, get their advantage, good. But then will there be kind of like buying options? That's the other thing, how it sets it apart from other types of pieces of premium content or premium things to buy in game. Will it separate out the free-to-play players? Those are going to be some things. But it does say you'll be able to get relics from solo competitive and a few other modes and content before you roll it out across the entire game after launch. Will they be RNG based? That's another thing as well. In the future, will they have specific type of crystals or like relics crystal or something? That'll be interesting to find out. Unique objects, which so relics are unique objects with different slots that offer new powers, masteries that buffs to individual champions. Okay, right. We've got Marvel Realm in the game now. Upgrade relics, and we've also got like systems which are in other games, which are like, yeah, it's kind of changing the way that the game is kind of really changing the way that it's going. Upgrade relics to house more buffs and allow higher quality buffs to be equipped. That's the concern. Discover more powerful buffs and create perfect relics. Build your favorite individual champions. And assign strikers. Learn more about that. Okay, we'll look at strikers now. But as I said, I've got my concerns about the relic system. Yeah, big concerns. I need more information on this and how Kabam plan to roll it out, not to be too ridiculous. Strikers, okay. Last year we teased our tag team prototype strikers. This year you'll get it. Excellent. The jewel in the crown of the relic system. Strikers will be the top tier equipables that you'll be able to that you can apply to relics. They provide access to unique abilities that will help cover your weaknesses to enhance your strengths. Okay, cool. Collect strikers, combine them with other buff effects to create insanely powerful relics. This system is going to be something else to kind of like get an idea around relics and strikers. Okay, direct impact intercept attacks give yourself a breather, or just lay the smackdown with special attacks of a bonus champion alongside the current champion. New strategies unlock all new combinations of champions attacks to create new solutions to old problems, and even do you know what, that is good. If that's going to help a lot of players that say are looking to take on certain content that they've struggled with. You know, I've got to go back to doing a lot of Act 6 so far. I've done it without strikers or relics. But I think that's going to be something in the future. I'm going to have to really consider what I'm taking and what I'm using. So yeah, if that's going to help me out with that, then of course. But I'll probably 100% Act 6 and Abyss by the time this is coming out. So I'll probably hopefully need a new challenge, unless I've kind of lost my mind with some of pain. I'm in pain. Let's move on. So Kabam are not doing Thronebreaker Crystals and acceleration of the collected. As mentioned above, the prologue initiative, we're changing the progress of the collected, mostly by accelerating them to uncollected. The change in content needs to be matched with a change in economy for those early game players. That's good in some ways, but something to bear in mind is that as you kind of develop your roster, and I've always said you need to grab more new champions. Sometimes all these champions you're picking up are going to be like more 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and then you know if you're uncollected, you're going to find very quickly, hey, I can do variants. Oh, I might need 4 stars and 5 stars, and a lot of them in various different ways. Not to say that's a stipulation, it's just what makes the content more easier, and as well plays into that point of going like, early players need to grab resources and they need to grab them quickly. So I get that. It's something to be considered. And then no Thronebreaker Crystals. What's going on with that then? So yeah, it's definitely different than uncollected. 4 stars and getting into 5 stars in Cavalier, which max 5 stars into 6 stars. Yep, Thronebreaker doesn't mark the top end of 6 stars, and we didn't see the need for a crystal at this time. That being said, we did need to. Yeah, so they've been updated. That's fine. That again is fine. I like the way they've done that, and as well as 6-star signature stones. They have gone into stuff, and also like 7 stars. They're not going to do 7 stars. I definitely want to see more 6-star signature stones for a lot of champions I'm using, and also kind of like developing the Wish Crystal, which again is an important factor to this. It's still a thing. Wish Crystal addresses the area of champion acquisition. Yeah, I need an Omega Red. I haven't got one in years. I've only recently picked up a Stealth Suit Spider, and that's taken years to do. But it is what it is. It was what it was, and we move on. And the featured 5 stars and 6 stars are actually a lot better than they were. These areas have been improved already by addition of Nexus Crystals and General Crystals shard amounts, and combined with things like featured hero 5-star and 6-star crystals and 5-star class crystals. It also improved by things like 6-star hero arenas. Okay, that's good. We'll have a look when that's there, but it's not there anytime soon. Project Genesis is to improve load times, refresh UI, and improved map. So again, good. Again, stuff that's needed. Load times in particular, great, definitely needed. And Kabam saying it's content, community, and creativity, and it's good. So I am happy. Like my kind of final thoughts of things with this particular roadmap is I'm happy with where Kabam going. I'm concerned about stuff like relics, very concerned about that. Masteries 2.0 coming next year. Okay, fine. Has this been, and I think the question is, has this been a good roadmap to answer what has been a year in development? Yes. Is it what every player wanted to see within a year? Not particularly. It would have been a lot more they wanted to see. I want to see more with Alliance Wars changes, but for the best part, you've got content coming up very soon that stimulates those that are endgame players and very competitive and challenge-driven players that want to kind of like test their skills a lot more, or kind of at least kind of like the more skilled players get some content for them. I like it. I think, as I said, the relics are going to be just very questionable. The solo competitive will benefit a lot of players from the point of that same team. But yeah, like things are moving on in a positive way. I kind of feel that I'm fine with this. I want to see more on the arena changes, but apart from that, this looks good. I think strikers and relics. Strikers seem cool. Relics and the implementation of all of that stuff are, I don't know what to say. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. So I need to see what Kabam's plan is this, and as well how that will stimulate, how that will separate out those that are spending players and free-to-play players. So that's my big concerns. But a lot to take in on this one, a lot. And thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest Champions based content, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.